Hi, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Something Else podcast. My name is Gabriella, and today I have the gifted and the talented Ron Taylor, also known as Meezy Numbers, in the building. Woo! Studio
Thanks
applause.
for having me. Thanks for having me.
We're going to be getting into his journey, and we're also going to be talking about his hit independent film, Meet the Snows,
Whoop, 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 whoop.
now streaming on Tubi.
Out
Go
right now.
watch it.
Make sure you go
Definitely
see
worth the
that.
watch. So I'm really excited to get into this conversation. But before we do that, you guys already know it is the affirmation of the week. So let's see what we got here. These are by Intelligent Change, by the way. And this one says, I always focus on what I can do and what is within my power. All solutions come from there.
Wow.
Don't we love it?
That's your affirmation?
That's the affirmation of the week.
Okay.
That's
Say it
what
again
it
so I
is.
can hear that.
Okay, we're going to say it again.
Say it one more time.
I always focus on what I can do and what is within my power. All solutions come from there.
That's facts. That's actually real.
That's what it is.
I like that affirmation.
Because if I don't got the power, then where the solutions going to come from? So I need to have something.
You know, it just be like that sometimes. You know, I like it. It's a real affirmation.
So I kind of want to get into a little bit of your journey because I know you executive produced Meet the Snows. You also did some script writing as well. And you were actor,
Exactly.
triple threat. So how did you kind of like get into like the acting occupation?
Started off with music.
Okay.
That's my first love. I went to Atlanta to pursue music originally, and I went to college. I went to Morris Brown College. Shout out to Morris Brown. Started off with music. It was slowing up for me, and I was like getting a little age. You know, hip hop is an age thing, and so I'm like, all right.
Yeah,
I was hitting 30, and I was like, all right, it ain't happened yet, but I still love entertainment, and so they were shooting um, Neighborhood Watch. I don't know if you remember that movie. Ben Stiller was in it. I think his name was. He's a comedian.
Sounds familiar.
And they were filming there, and I was asking how to get in it. I thought I could just walk up and be in the film. You know, everybody think they can do that, right? I was like, no, that's not the case. You got to go to this church. You got to fill out this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I ended up being an extra, not on that show, but on Vampire Diaries. I'm not sure if you remember
Yeah, I do. Remember
Vampire
the show.
Diaries, but I started on that and just looking around on set and how beautiful it was. And everybody was having fun. I'm like, y'all get paid to do this? I think I can do this too. And it kind of started my career.
So do you prefer to be like in front of the camera or behind the camera?
I originally started as an actor. I was an extra. I was an extra first,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was like, I wanted to say things. I want to talk. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I started acting. I was acting for like about 8 years, and of course, my mother, because I lived in Atlanta, she just assumed that Tyler Perry was just. She said, "Why don't you just go get with Tyler Perry?" I'm like, "You really think it's that easy, huh?" You know what I mean? And it's not in Atlanta. I'll just tell you, as an actor, you have to start off as doing independent films,
Yeah.
uh, webisodes. You know what I mean? YouTube stuff like that. That's back in my era when we first started. And so Tyler Perry wasn't coming. I did some great movies, not knocking the independent films,
Mm-hmm.
but it came to the point where I wanted to take control of my career, and that's when I started writing.
So was Meet the Snows the first movie that you executive produced?
Very first,
Okay.
very
So
first.
what prompted this move in direction?
You know, just realizing and being a fan of the greats, the Master P's, the Kevin Harts, the Tyler Perrys, and I remember one time when I watched Tyler Perry and he did a speech and he was like, um, "We don't have to wait for the table; we make our table." And it
Yes.
was very powerful to me. I was like, you know what? I'm not Tyler Perry. He ain't coming for me. He's not gonna save me. You know what I mean? I gotta save myself. And so I got what I was doing this movie called The Story Before the Glory. A friend, my co-writer, Keedy Ponder. Shout out to Keedy Ponder. She was a producer, and she was good. She stayed in contact with me, and we were doing. The movie had got shot. We did the red carpet. Everything was good, and we came together with the director to try to do like, what are we gonna do next? And it didn't really happen with the collective, but me and her wanted to still keep doing it. And so I asked her to help me write a movie, and she knew how to put it in script form. My idea, her know how, voila, Meet the Snows.
So, what made you want to kind of go in the direction of producing a movie that shed light on sex trafficking?
Good question. I'm a conspiracy theorist,
Okay.
and so I watch a lot of stuff. I know a lot of stuff. I'm not sure if you know, um, pedophilia is real. At the time when we were writing it, it was during the Epstein
Oh, yeah.
series
That
when
was intense.
he had a lot going on, and it was just the web was just unfolding. It was just he was rich and everybody was focusing on him, but when you dug deeper, he was connected to all these people, and it's like why is he connected to all these people? And it was just a rabbit hole of information, and then I started learning more and more about sex trafficking and how it affects people and how it's happening in different countries and it's in churches. It's just so vast, and it was just an overload of information. I'm already a conspiracy theorist, and I was like, I think this would be a great topic. I didn't want to do the Boys in the Hood. If I'm gonna make a movie, I don't want to do the typical rapper becomes, well, the street guy becomes a rapper, becomes a the street guy becomes a rapper,
Yeah.
or the typical bang bang shoot 'em up, two drug dealers beefing movie. I was like, nah, I wanna touch the world with something that they can feel that we don't really talk about. And I was sitting on the couch watching Taken. That's crazy. I was with my girlfriend at the time, and I was like, "Why we need a black version of this? Why we ain't got no black? Because I love Liam. Like he's a man. You
Yeah,
know what
he's
I mean?
great.
Like we need a black version of this." And when we got to writing, I just said I wanted to do a black version of Taken, and we kind of took it and put our own spin on it.
So, you touched on something and it brought something to my
Hmm.
mind because you did mention this in a previous interview, very briefly though. Typecasting.
Exactly.
Because that I feel like that's something that a lot of creatives struggle with. So, how did you break out of the mold of trying to say like, okay, I don't want to play this type of person anymore?
It's hard. I ain't gonna lie. In Atlanta, when you do cop stuff,
Mm-hmm.
they call you for cop because they see you in this cop uniform. I played a cop one time. I played a detective one time. I played a bad guy one time, and it just kept getting. I look like the typical bad guy. I got muscles. I'm dark skinned. They typically say we're the bad guy. We're typically security or whatever. And so I was catching those roles, and I was okay with it because a role is a role. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with those roles. But I'm like, well, why I can't be a good guy? Why I can't be the lead? You know what I mean? I'm always getting the supporting role. So I had to write myself in to get that support and to become the lead and become a good guy. I was a drug dealer. They always cited me as a drug dealer.
So then, what advice you would give to someone trying to break that mold? Just take the opportunity, just do your own thing.
I would say do monologues of other things as an
Okay.
actor. If you're gonna be an actor, you want to show growth. You want to show range. You can always upload on your own social media just you doing other characters. You don't have to stay in that role, but it's hard when people see you as that. If they see you, they say, "Well, she's Afrocentric." You're like, "Why I gotta be the Erica Badu because I got earrings and my hair's cut short?"
Yeah.
They just automatically we do it naturally. It's nothing that we don't try to do our first impressions. So that's my advice is just either write it yourself, do skits yourself showing range, or do monologues.
Do you think as a creative you want to venture more into like writing, executive producing, or do you still plan to be like in front of the camera?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
Um, like previously, trying to get with the Tyler Perrys, the Kevin Harts, the Master P's. It's like you're an employee, and once I wrote this movie, it was like a key was unlocked. I can't lock it back and just go be an actor anymore. I can't.
Yeah.
I know how to make a film. I've hired everybody to do it. I literally have a team. I can literally shoot anything at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do have 5 movies that I will be filming.
Stay tuned.
I won't go back to just being an actor. But I got some ideas. I'm gonna do one more movie. I don't want to give it away, but it's gonna make Florida proud, and it's about some fighter that was big here. That's all I would say about that.
Okay. Is that
And
it has an exclusive little
it's an
Oh,
exclusive
it's an exclusive.
because we're gonna be filming here in May. If you
Okay.
want to audition or people that watch this wants to audition, they can follow my page. I'll be putting out auditions, and this is my second movie where I'll be the star. But the third and fourth movies, I think I want to
Just be behind the
see
scenes.
how I can do this. I'll be a supporting character. As an actor, you always want to act. You want to no shade on these people, the Tyler Perrys, the Kevin Harts. I know I keep saying them. I want to work with them. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? That was the goal. But I think it's more respectful to see me coming from this. I think I can get there faster by them saying, "Damn, he got a body of work that is almost on the same level as us. He just don't got the budget."
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying? And we did an amazing job with what we worked with. Meet the Snows looks really
Yeah, it was
good.
good.
I think the quality was my biggest thing as a someone who does film. I was making it my business to make sure that it didn't look hood. That
It
was my
looks
focal
good.
point.
Because when I watched it, when I seen that fighting, I had to ask, did you do some kind of combat work before that?
We
Because that
did.
fighting scene was real. I said, wait a minute, did he really punch him?
We did. Shout out to Bruce and James and Bobby James and my fight team. See, in Atlanta, Georgia is different. Like we really have access. Like a lot of people move to Atlanta because you can do whatever you want to do, and you just have to put it in the universe. And that's anywhere. I think once you put your mind to do it, like you said with the podcast, you decided to do it, and you're getting great interviews, and eventually you're gonna be big. And I'll come here and do exclusives. I'm like, yo, I
That's
remember
just
when
what
you
it
was
is.
right here,
That's
and
just what it
ultimately
is.
you're gonna be one of the big dogs in the game. And so in Atlanta, Georgia, the universe was bringing people to me as I was making the movie. I reached out to one of the big fight coordinators in
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood, and he told me you can't afford me, but he liked my tenacity, the fact that
Yeah.
I wanted to do a film, and he put me up with the guy Bobby James. He does all the stuff you see in Marvel, all the fight scenes you see in Marvel, all the stuff you see in Black Panther. He put me with a team of black guys that were stunt coordinators, and I went to boot camp for real for about 3 months. Not happy with some of it, but it's just because I'm a perfectionist like that. So the
Mm-hmm.
next movie, oh my god, you want to see some fight scenes? Man, I'm excited about the next movie. But Meet the Snows is good. It's
It
good.
is
It's
good.
good.
It is
It's
good.
good.
What does it take to really get into your character? Because a lot of people think, okay, I'm just gonna go read these lines and act it out, but you have to like literally become your character.
You have to. Um, I took a little art school. You got to go to school, and what I've learned is you have to think about that character as a real person. What does he eat? What does he sleep? How would he talk? Does he have a brother? Does he have? You have to have a whole backstory for this character. You have to really think of him as a human being, and then dive into that character and not be yourself. And so that's the biggest time. And looking at the lines. The lines help you build the character, and then in your head, you have to really what I just build a backstory. That's what I was taught in acting school. Give him a whole. He was born in May or whatever day you want him to be on. He likes roses or
Give him
he
life.
doesn't like. You got to give him life. Yeah, make him a real character.
So you touched on that you have an entire production team who helped film Meet the Snows. What was a typical day like in production?
It was fun. It's fun. Making movies is fun. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of chaos, but maybe because I'm from Fort Lauderdale and we grew up in dysfunction, I work well in dysfunction. It was a whole lot going on that it was like you were so calm for this to be your first movie. Things was going wrong. Anything that can go wrong was going wrong, but we was fixing it. And I was like, "Why are you so calm?" I'm like, "Cause I know we're gonna fix it."
Mm-hmm.
We was finding. I don't work in problem. I work in the resolution.
Yeah,
If we're
yeah.
short on something, where is it? If that's not there, where do we go get it? You know what I mean? And we was just putting out these fires and shooting the movie. Somebody upset about it. Hey, you go over there and take a break. We're filming this movie. This movie's getting done. It was one part that was so funny. It was during the Trump election, and we had a white guy that was on our set, and he was so nervous that it was going to be a riot that day. And he was my direct DP. He was the director of photography. He was the guy holding the camera. So he ended up leaving early. He left. We had to get another guy shooting. I was shooting the scene, the auction scene. I don't want to give it the auction scene, and we booked it for the daytime, and we had to go a little over. He had a party that night scheduled, so I'm like, I'll give you an extra $1,000 and I have the party. No, he didn't want to do it, so it was the most chaotic day. But that scene came out so good on camera. So it lets you know you just got to be persistent. Don't give up. Don't. It was everything could went wrong that day, but we made it work.
Now that you're based in Atlanta, you've had the experience of, meeting these different people, going through your different creative journey. What are some struggles that you see other creatives struggling with and how can they overcome these struggles?
Following trends. If you see Mute the Snows, it's nothing like you would see from a black film. That's why I think it's being received the way it's being received. A lot of people like to do what's out. If you look at Tubi, like I wasn't a big fan of Tubi until my movie was on there.
Mm-hmm.
So Meet the Snows goes off, and another movie just pops up, and you'll be like, "What in the world is this?" You know what I'm saying? We gotta stop. We gotta get out of just and I like some good black cinema. I'm not saying black cinema's not good, but just the bang bang shoot 'em up. It is 1,000 of those movies. I'm like, we are creators. We are rocket scientists. We have done so many great things that we can make movies and so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna push the envelope on almost like I forget the guy's name. He did the movie with Get Out. I forget his name. Peel, the
Yeah.
Peel guy.
Yeah.
He's just a different thinker. I
Yeah.
think make film. My thought process was I wasn't making a black film. I
Mm-hmm.
was making a movie. You know what I'm saying? That any person can sit down and watch and respect. And I think what black creators got to do is just make a film that anybody can see.
I hope you are enjoying this week's video. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any new uploads. Now back to the episode. Do you think your experience with kind of like detailing your story and storytelling in music played a large part in your creative process with writing?
It created the ear. Um, if you heard the soundtrack, it goes perfectly with the movie, and that's because that being a rapper, making music, being in the studio, I was like, this scene needs this, and this scene like that, and the universe. I swear. While we were editing the film, I started my podcast, the G4 Elite Show,
Mm-hmm.
and we were interviewing different people, and there was rappers, entertainers. They were giving me their music. I was hearing it, and I was like, man, can I use it for the soundtrack? Can I use it? They didn't know what I was doing. They was just giving it to me, but it came out perfectly. And when they seen the movie, they're like, wow, they're so excited. So it was, shout out to all of the artists that allowed me to use their music in the movie. So I would say yes, that ear is those other traits they come into play.
So when you're looking for people to play the characters that you create, what are some things that you look for?
It's a team of people. When we do casting, it won't just be me. It'll be people who read the script, my co-writers, the directors. Each person has a character. Again, we build as a writer in my head. I think how I would think that person would look. So sometimes they audition. I'm like, damn, if they can say this shit right, they got the role. They might come in, they don't even know they got it. You know what I mean? I'm looking like, mm-hmm. You look exactly like that person I need. I just need you to just don't sound like an idiot saying these lines. You know what I mean? So it's just different things that we look for. Sometimes we get it wrong. We casted this one person and she was horrible.
Did she stay in the movie?
I ain't gonna say her role.
Okay.
We took a lot of takes. It was a lot of takes.
I don't know. I probably know what you're talking about, but that's for another day.
Yeah, man, this acting thing is funny, man, and
Yeah.
it's actually good though because you get to see people progress. We shot this movie 2 years ago and see some of the actors. You follow them still. They moved on. They've gone. If you ever done in a movie, you do your scenes. You know it's not gonna come out for 6 or 7 months.
Wow.
So you just move on to other things and to see where they have gone. It's really a testament to just perseverance. I'm so proud of them. Aubrey, Bree Poppy, Leslie, one of the actors he played in Black Panther 2, which is
Oh yes.
AK. Shout out
Yeah.
to AK. Um, Fred Harper, he's my associate producer. He's done amazing things. My boy Michael McNeil, he's an artist. He has music coming out. It's just like, man, I'm so happy. Some of the Instagram models, they went on to do OnlyFans and stuff. It's just crazy to see these people move in these different ways over the course of a year and then come back together 2 years and come on the red carpet. It's almost like a family reunion.
Yeah.
Almost like a family reunion.
So you guys started filming back in the middle of COVID?
20, yeah, in COVID.
Okay. Did the production time take 2 years, or was it because of COVID there was delays?
It was me. Um, your first movie, I was really hard on myself.
Mm-hmm.
I was really hard on myself. I still see imperfections that y'all say so great. I cringe because again, when you make a movie, it's never perfect. It's just, are you okay with it being enough to put out?
Mm-hmm.
And people who make movies will understand what I'm saying. So it took me long because you only got one time to do your first movie,
Yeah.
and I wanted to impact I wanted to like hit them in the gut, like I'm coming. All the people who are named, not in a bad way. I want to work with you, but I want you to know that if you do not work with me, you're still gonna know me because I'm gonna make great films, and that's what that was to hang up for me. I was my editor Ivan. Shout out to Ivan. He almost wanted to kill me because we did so many revisions. He's like, I only do 5 revisions. We were at revision 17. I was like, bro, we're gonna get it right. We fell out at the end. He stopped working for like a month. That's what kind of took it a little bit. He stopped working because he's like, I'm tired. I'm like, bro, I'm a perfectionist. But then he came to the red carpet and he's seeing the reception and he understands why I made him do what I did. I'm like, listen, I'm just hard on myself. I'm just That's how I was an artist as a rapper. I was just very meticulous about the things that I wanted the world to see.
So, how important is perseverance on this journey? Because people can look at
Mm,
you and think, "Oh wow, like you got a movie on Tubi, like this is great," but
mm.
you've been through the process.
10 years I've been acting. You know what I mean? Acting for 8 years. This movie took 2, so we're at 10 as far as me being in the game, and still not exactly where I want to be, but I'm seeing the trajectory. It's going well. It's being received well, and so just staying consistent, believing in yourself when no one sees the vision,
Yeah.
and having a support team of people that do. Try to stay around those people. Um, we got a term with another friend. It's called being an actorpreneur. Just because you're trying to do something in the industry, don't quit your day job. You still got your lights to pay. You still got
That's true.
bills.
That's
So
true.
what you want to do is you want to be an entrepreneur. We call it an actor. For us, we're actors, so we call it actorpreneurs. So we have Airbnbs that we rent out. We have Turos that we rent out. Promote parties. If you go on my page, I'm a party promoter. We kind of don't want to be the struggling. I didn't want to be the struggling actor. I still wanted to look like and live a certain lifestyle while I was pursuing.
Which,
So stay consistent, but still have hustles.
yeah, no, that's true. Don't quit your J job for real. You're gonna be
Mm-mm,
hungry. You're gonna be acting the
mm-mm.
movie, but you're gonna be
And
hungry.
I'll tell you this: for an actor, a lot of people don't know that when you get paid as an actor, you may, let's say you are at a decent level, it's $1,000 a day, and let's say they on set for 16 days, they may only need you for 5 days. That's $5,000. That's not gonna hold you for a year.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying? And that movie doesn't come out for another year later. So unless you just that good to get roles like that,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna still need a job. So a lot of people see the lure of being an actor. Until you get to that level where you're getting the 30s and $100,000 and $1 million, you need a job.
Yeah.
They don't want to say it, but I'll say it.
Because it's an actual business,
It's a business.
and people don't understand the business side to being a creative.
Hmm.
And I would assume that's where a lot of people fall short
They do.
because they think talent will take them.
Not all the time.
Yeah,
Connections, relationships too.
that's true.
Be a good person in real life. And when you go on set, come on time. People love that. People love to see that you ready to work. Don't treat it as if, oh, this is just entertainment. Entertainment is still show business. We have call times. We need you to be here on this time, especially for independence because we don't have the big budgets like Marvel and stuff. If we put up $3,000 to $5,000 for that day, we need everybody to show up. One person can just destroy the whole day, and we
Yeah,
lost $5,000. So show up, people, please. If you're gonna do it for real.
be on time. Be on time and bring your best self. You heard what
Exactly.
he
Even
said.
though I wasn't on time for this podcast, I
That's
apologize.
okay. We're not gonna get into that. We're not gonna get into that.
I'm screaming being on time when I'm late.
That's the executive producer in him talking. Cause you
Yeah,
know.
when I'm at work, I definitely need you to be there.
So, for you, what is the legacy that you want to leave behind?
Mm.
What is your legacy that you want to leave behind?
Well, I'll be honest. I didn't grow up with a silver spoon, and so um, just coming off a podcast with Forbidden Knowledge. I'm not sure if you know who that guy is. I've seen him when he had a small business here in South Florida to who he is now. He has 1.2 million followers. He has books out. He had a show for Pick Me Up in Ghost and take me to his $5 million home. I want that. You know what I'm saying? I want that legacy. I want to make sure that my mother and my kids are well taken care of. And I want to leave an impact where we made good films and the films that we put out impacted the world in a positive way. Some funny, sometimes you got to give people humor as well, but you want to leave him in a positive. And I want to put an impact. Like he made an impact, and some of his movies were pretty good.
Hmm. And has anyone, now that Meet the Snows is out
Hmm.
and it's circulating, has anyone like as a survivor of sex
Hmm.
trafficking came out? Like,
Yeah. So we've done about 5 screenings. We did 2 in Atlanta. We did 1 in Daytona, 1 in Fort Lauderdale, Memphis, and we're about to do 1 in South Carolina, December the 11th. I don't want to put the dates out, but in South Carolina, and also we're doing 1 in Hollywood. Every time we do 1, we have a sex traffic survivor that comes. The one we did in Fort Lauderdale was very touching. It was a young man. His daughter got kidnapped, and she has not been recovered.
wow.
And what he does to represent and keep the light on sex trafficking. One time he walked from Fort Lauderdale all the way to California
Wow.
to, for sex trafficking awareness. He came to the premiere. He shed a tear. He was crying. He was like, "This is a very good movie. It's very powerful." So the people I've met along the way, just it's just been it's almost bigger than the movie at this point. It's bigger. It's not about my movie. It's about human trafficking. It's about sex trafficking. It's about the awareness. And sex trafficking, I've learned different ways. It's not somebody just snatching you in the car. It can be just mentality. I was in Memphis. We had a what we call a sex traffic survivor. She used to be a whore, and she she was as a child she was raped by her parents. So she thought that's what life was. And so she met a pimp because she had low self esteem, and she had to get her mind right to get out of
Yeah.
that human trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
People think it's just always just someone
The
taking you.
actions,
It's,
yeah.
it's pimping. Pimping is a part of human trafficking. So what she did, she stopped doing it. She's been free for 20 years. She's married. She has a book out, and she actually goes out and she actually saves and looks for females and try to talk to them and get them off the
Wow.
streets. She came
That's
to the
major.
show. We did a interview with her on Fox News in Memphis, and it touched my heart. Met Judge Joe Brown along the way.
Yeah, I saw your
He's in
picture with him.
Memphis. Super cool guy. He talks about sex trafficking like no other. I mean, he gets down and dirty. He gets gritty. I didn't think that he was such a real person, super real person. So this journey, it really, it started off me trying to just show the world that I can make a film, but right now it's even bigger than me.
Do you feel like the direction of Meet the Snows was out of your element? Like, did it challenge you or?
No, it was
Okay.
always something I knew I could do. One thing I do, I'm great now. We piss excellence over here. You know what I mean? The name of my podcast is G4 Elite. So we believe in elite, and we believe in a luxury lifestyle, and we believe in doing things at the high level. Um, I just wanted to just do something that I knew that was controversial. That I know that we can have a topic. Again, that Epstein thing was really huge. I'm in a Telegram group. It's called Human Traffic Survivors, and every day they post something around the world where somebody got busted. 19 people got caught up trying to, like, they had this guy trying to meet up with a 10-year-old. He was a freaking police officer. They had
Yikes.
another guy who was a firefighter. They be trying to chat on Snapchat. This one
Wow.
guy got caught on Snapchat talking to kids, trying to get them. So it's just like the stories, and it's just huge, man, and it's really a problem that we don't. It's like nobody really talks about it enough.
Wow. Yeah, that's so true. That's scary.
It really is.
The people that you least
It really
expect,
is.
those are the ones that you need to be eyeing.
I'm trying to tell you. And if you
That's
have children, you
crazy.
should definitely watch a Snapchat. If you are on the PlayStations, you know how they have the chats, and they're kids talking to adults. They're cursing back and forth with each other. You don't, you gotta just be mindful out here. It's a very scary world we live in.
Oh yeah, it is. It's an evil world we living in.
It's evil, y'all.
So you talk about mindset a lot. How did you cultivate a mindset that was conducive to your success? What did it take?
I would say experience, man. Along the journey, like I said, being an entrepreneur, I took a lot of jobs. You know what I mean? I've done customer service, I've done telemarketing, I've worked in the warehouse, insurance agencies. All those different things make you who you are. Those different traits that you have to have, and we all act every day. Um, you've been to an interview and you sit down, you don't kind of be yourself. You don't. You kind of like, you sit
Yeah,
up and
I'm ready.
can you come to work and can you be here on
Yeah.
time? Would you ever be late? I won't be late, knowing damn well you'll be late. We're actors, and so life experience is what kind of makes you who you are and what makes the journey. Everybody's journey is going to be different. Soldier Boy made it through social media. Mine may be the sex trafficking thing that kind of pushes me over the top. You just have to just enjoy the journey. That's the most fun part about it right now. I'm enjoying it. We're having so much fun on this tour.
So, if you could give one word advice to anybody watching this, what would it be?
One word:
One word of advice.
consistency.
Okay.
That's the biggest thing. A lot of people do things and they stop. They're not consistent. Um, I would use more words, but one word is consistency. You got to stay consistent and don't give up.
Say
Perseverance.
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 Because if you look at the numbers, sometimes if you look at the numbers, or if you even look at how you feel, you will not do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big thing. But I just want to thank you so much for coming on the Something Else
Hey, thank
podcast.
you for having me. You asked me some really good questions.
Thank you. Where can the people find you?
You can follow Meet the Snows #1 on Instagram. It's Meet the Snows. We're everywhere on Facebook, Twitter. You can look us up on IMDb. Meet the Snows. Me personally, it's official_Ron Taylor. That is my directorial page. If you want to reach out to me for like film stuff, film related stuff, movie stuff, directing your movies, anything of that nature, reach me there. Personally, it's Meezy numbers. That's the everything party guy. You gotta have a wild side. That's my alter ego.
That is too funny. The jack of all trades here. You guys also stream Meet the Snows on Tubi
Please,
again,
thank you. Please, I
and
take
I'm gonna put the link below.
and the trailer. I'll have you send the trailer as well.
Okay, I can do that. I'm putting everything in the bio, so go stream Meet the Snows, follow him, support his movie. There's a black creative here. We have to support our people. We need to keep them uplifted.
Big facts.
We got to build the table.
We gotta build that table.
We got
right
filet mignon. We got lamb chops here.
there. And we got
We got
kids.
we got the best fine wine. Come on now.
Let's do it.
So you guys, of course, follow the Something Else podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast. And I will see you in the next episode.
Again, thank you guys in advance for watching Meet the Snows.
Thanks. Bye.